This is the David bar. It has 28 grams of protein, cost between $3 and $4. It has 0 sugar, around 150 calories, and according to pretty much every fitness creator, it's one of the best protein bars on the planet. Now, I wanted to see if I can match it. Not necessarily on taste. I'm gonna get it to taste pretty good, but on ingredients. I wanted to get as close as I possibly could to the protein, as close as I possibly could to the calories, and keep the taste palatable. It took me about 4 attempts, one batch that essentially tasted like chalk, but I got there. 28.7 grams of protein at 186 calories. And we used 4 ingredients. So let me show you exactly how we got there. And this is a pretty incredible protein source with an incredible protein amino acid profile, using no ingredients that need to pass FDA's approval by probably being paid off. I'm just guessing, I don't know. Probably not. Without using any shady business tactics to monopolize the market on one pretty incredible ingredient, I just made this at home. And I'm going to say that this is probably the highest protein per calorie homemade protein bar ever made. I did my research, I couldn't find anything. So if this company wants to name their bar the David, I'm gonna name my bar the Mona Lisa. Okay, let me read you the ingredients here. Their protein system: milk protein isolate, collagen, whey protein concentrate, and egg white. The binding system is maltitol, allulose, glycerin, soluble corn fiber, tapioca starch, soy lecithin. The fat system is modified plant fat. That's EPG. That's a big part of this story. And coconut oil. Now for flavors, they use whatever flavor they are for the bar. For this particular bar, the peanut butter chocolate chunk, unsweetened chocolate, Dutch processed cocoa powder, natural and artificial flavors, salt, sucralose, asulfatamine, potassium. I mean, honestly, the list is kind of wild. Now, this is not criticism. This is an engineering achievement, but particularly because of just one ingredient. Nothing on this list is outstanding. They were able to get 28 grams of protein into a 150 calorie bar because of the fat ingredient EPG. That requires some serious food science. Now, we do not have long-term data on what EPG does to the body. The assumption is that it doesn't do anything. It passes through the body like a fiber, but not in a good fiber kind of way. But I kept looking at that list and thinking, what if you really didn't need any of that? What if the protein source was so efficient that the bar built itself? That's kind of what set me down this rabbit hole. So let me show you what I found. So this is an edamame protein puff. It's made from edamame protein isolate, tapioca starch, and salt. Pretty simple. Now, the number that stopped me cold when I saw it was this. So 100 calories for 20 grams of protein, that is an 80% protein to calorie ratio. Chicken breast is around 50%, whey protein isolate is around 70%. This is legitimately one of the most protein dense foods I've ever came across. And it comes in a hefty 3-pound bag, which is fun for experimenting. So my thought was, can I turn it into a real bar, like this bar? Something that has texture, that holds together, and something that tastes like something you would want to eat. It's not bad. After a few test runs, the answer is yes. So my first thought was to use some dark chocolate. Low calorie, low sugar. I figured that would kind of bind everything together. Add a little bit of agar to kind of try to thicken it up. And that attempt gave me something that tasted more like a bathroom tile than a protein bar. This is good. So the answer was actually a heck of a lot simpler. I stripped down the ingredients, kind of went back to the basics. Now this is soft. You can see the chocolate kind of melt in my hand. The bar you can kind of pull apart, very soft, but kind of like a soft Rice Krispie treat. Maybe a little bit better. This is as close as I think you're gonna get for those calories. But the key to hold this all together is allulose. So let me tell you exactly how this worked, but first let me tell you about today's sponsor. You have seen me talking about Miracle Made bed sheets for a couple of years now. It's the ad where I was laying in bed talking about how great my sleep is. I always say if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use a silver infused fabric that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And that silver actually helps prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth. So it leaves your sheets feeling cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets. That means fewer odors, fewer wash cycles. And they feel nice, if not nicer than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. They are incredibly comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. I used to wake up in the middle of the night sweating or freezing and just plain uncomfortable. That was until I found Miracle Made's bed sheets. So gang, upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/stache to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code STASHE, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. They make an amazing gift, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. That's trymiracle.com/stache. Code STASHE at checkout. Miracle Made, thanks for sponsoring today's video and for all of the incredible nights of sleep. So allulose is actually kind of a rare sugar that can occur naturally in very small amounts in things like figs and raisins. Your body doesn't metabolize it in the same way that it does sugar. It passes through without spiking blood glucose, and it contributes to almost no calories. It's actually 0.4 calories per gram compared to sugar's 4 calories per gram. But here's what matters for this recipe. When you cook allulose to the correct temperature, it behaves exactly like sugar syrup. It coats, binds, and when it cools, it sets pretty similar to regular sugar. And it gives everything just enough chew to hold together without completely crumbling and being a dry mess. Now for the base bar, you can flavor it exactly how you want. You can add whatever calories you want to add to it, but this is the base. This is what I made. So 140 grams of edamame puffs, 65 grams of allulose powder mixed with 40 milliliters of water. Now we're going to set aside 20 grams of inulin powder, which is a prebiotic fiber that's pretty sweet. Now I wanted to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I didn't add it in this batch. I do think it would add to the flavor. And then I'm gonna salt this pretty good because it is crunchy. I want it to be kind of like a salty snack. And then lastly, you need 20 grams of 100% dark chocolate. Step 1, mix the water with the allulose. Pour into a saucepan. I have a thermometer ready. You can use a handy thermometer because you need to get this to a boil and then get it to exactly 235 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the allulose will set hard, not crunchy. It'll be chewy. The other thing to know is that allulose browns fast, so constantly be turning down your temperature as the temperature is rising. It goes from 235 perfect to browned very quickly. Now, once you get to 235, immediately pull it from the heat and then slowly add your inulin powder while you're whisking in. Watch, the allulose is hot, it is syrupy. This can boil up and splatter. If it splatters on you, it will burn. Be very careful. It's just like working with candy and sugar. It's very hot, can cause burns. Now you can add your salt, and if you want, add your vanilla. Again, slowly and away from the container so it doesn't splatter. Now at this point, you have about 45 seconds to mix in your edamame puffs into a separate bowl. You want everything glistening, wet and coated. It's not gonna get dusty. This is gonna be very wet and it should start getting pretty firm, hard to mix. Now I should have told you, you're gonna wanna have your form, whatever you're using to make your bars, lined with parchment paper already, and then you're going to be pressing this in. Press it firm, press it pretty hard. Now I'm gonna throw this in the fridge while I get ready for my chocolate, which I'm gonna melt my chocolate in a double boiler, but you can melt your chocolate in the microwave. I'm adding just a little bit of the inulin powder to the chocolate, the dark chocolate, to sweeten that top up, and a little pinch of salt. I should have told you again, I saved a little bit of the inulin from the original recipe, probably maybe 2 or 3 grams, not much, just to mix in the dark chocolate. Once your chocolate's melted, pull your bars out of the fridge and then coat and then just kind of wipe down the top of the bars to make sure the chocolate settles down in about 1/4 of the way into the bar. You'll see it kind of set in. Just wipe it with a spatula, make sure the entire top is covered. It's gonna be a very thin layer, very, very thin layer, so make sure you spread it out evenly. If you pour it all in one thing, it's gonna gloop down inside and you're not gonna be able to spread it across enough. That little thin layer is gonna be a factor in holding the bar together. Now, I'm just gonna throw this in the fridge for about 30 minutes. So what the heck is an edamame protein puff, and why should you be paying attention to these? Edamame is a complete protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids. Again, here's the amino acid profile. It scores a 0.91 on the PDC-AAS, which is the gold standard for measuring protein quality. 1 is considered the best. So 0.9 is pretty good. For reference, Whey is 1, egg white is 1. Edamame is 0.91. Now I do want to look at one specific protein on here, which is leucine. This has 1,582 milligrams per 100 calories. Leucine is the primary trigger for muscle protein synthesis. At 1,500 milligrams, you're getting some pretty serious protein amino acid density per serving in this, which is ultimately a puffed snack made from 3 ingredients. This isn't a gimmick. This isn't a plant-based product that has crappy profiles. This is real protein that your body can actually use. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I already ate my test bar. I wanted to give Monica and see what she thought.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
It's all protein, baby.
Yay. I love this.
It's not bad, right?
It's kind of got that like salted chocolate, taste.
Okay.
Which is great. I love that. A little bit more crunchy. Soft or not soft, it's just more crunchy.
Okay.
It's a little sticky, but I don't mind it. It's really fun to eat. It's got a good flavor. It doesn't it tastes like a dessert more than a protein bar. I could see myself eating too many of these.
So Monica doesn't really love protein bars. Any protein bar that we've tried has a chemically taste to it.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Bottom line, is this better than a David bar? My honest answer, David bar wins on calories. David bar is 150 calories for 28 grams of protein. This has the exact same amount of protein for just a little bit more calories, 187 calories, which is so close. That's 37 calorie difference for something that is homemade, that doesn't use a wildly weird ingredient. If you want the most protein per calorie, the David bar is going to win. But if you want something that's going to suit far more people's diets, this is plant-based. This is something that you can make at home. You can change the flavor by adding different like vanilla extract, coconut extract. You can find lots of different extracts. You can add crumble low calorie, cookies or things like that and replace some of the chocolate. It's kind of endless what you can do by keeping fairly low calorie per protein with this. It's incredible. If you want to know exactly what's in your protein bar, this wins. And the ingredients that it does have are known to be beneficial. And that is something that is completely different than the David bar, because we don't know how beneficial the ingredients are in the David bar. And it's not plant-based. There's nothing artificial, nothing that you need like a chemistry degree to completely understand, because EPG is unique. That is something that cannot be made at home, and it cannot be made by nature. I'm hoping a lot of you try this out. I think it's so unique. I think the protein puffs are just kind of wild. I really want to see what people can make with them. This is just my first attempt. I really want to play with these a heck of a lot more. I think I'm going to be using them a heck of a lot more. So gang, if you try something like this, if you've tried other homemade protein recipes, leave a comment in the description below. Let me know what you think. Again, I just cannot wait for you to try these. So yeah, report back honestly. I'm excited that Monica, what's the bar just exploded on her. Really, as long as the bar is cold, it's gonna be pretty good. Or if it's not cold and you have it wrapped up, the more you compress it, the better it's gonna be. But I'm excited to just see how people mess with this. This has been one of the funnest ones I've done in a long time. Really back to the experimentation. So I will see you in the next one. Okay, thank you, baby. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's really good. I'll actually have a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, do it. Have as much as you want.